Hello there ladies and gentlemen, and my name is Owen and welcome to this brand new video here on Blurb Osh. First of all guys, I want to say a special thank you to all of you that watched my Vectra B annihilation video when it came down to the rust we uncovered, should we say. I was not expecting the publicity of that video to go quite popular in the first couple of days, to be fair. Although it's all calmed down now, that video is still doing pretty well considering I only posted it, 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. So this is my reply and my thought of what I'm going to do to the car. Am I going to get rid of it? Am I going to fix it? Am I going to strip it? Am I going to rag it and race it? Part of me still doesn't know quite really what to do with it, except I mentioned in my last video, if you guys spotted it or if you guys even watched it, I'm leaning to one way, and this is solely dependent on how I get along. So what I first of all guys want you guys to do is to tell me one last time what I should do with that car. Should I fix it? Should I sell it? Should I strip it? Or should I leave it for another day? I'm pointing to one way with that car. I've done a few calculations of what my options are. I've had a look to see how much the car would be worth to me if I stripped it and sold it for parts. If I sold the car for parts, I would get, without taking the engine and gearbox out, roughly, on a rough, 1,500 quid parting the car out. And I got the car for 680 quid, so that would be a profit of some description. The problem being is, one, exterior wise, it's a really nice looking car. Secondly, there have been worse cars than that car fixed, and it'd be, personally to me, a shame to let that car go because of something that's been so neglected. And also the fact that I want to save every car I touch, but that's just not possible in some cases. Thirdly, if I was to sell it for bits, I'd have to wait and wait and wait for people to buy the parts that I have, and that's the time and space I don't really have to do that. So I'm in a bit of a predicament if I went down that route. What if I was to just sell it now? If I was just to sell it now, it has no MOT, it's rotten, it's a diesel, the tax is horrendously expensive on it. I mean, £36 a month is the tax for that car, which means if you want to tax it for the first time in ownership, it's about 70 odd quid just to tax. So that's making me think one way I could proper make justice to this car. There was another route, which was stripping bits off it and taking it around the farm and rallying it round until it breaks and see how durable the car is. But I think I would be doing an insult to that car because, one, the handbrake doesn't work, and secondly, it's a diesel Vectra and it will probably go forever considering it's chain driven anyway. I then had a look to see about how much the parts is going to cost me. I've got the paint. I'm not brilliant at painting, as you guys have seen, and I do really need to sort that boot out and finish that off, but I'll probably do that in my own time, not on the video, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, obviously. I think I need to consider fixing it. That's the way I'm leaning to. I want to fix the car. I've asked a couple of friends of mine for their opinions. The rear axle is going to have to come off completely so I can proper wire brush it down and at the same time probably poly bush it, because those bushes are completely shot. Then it's going to need a new handbrake cable, which we might as well do at the time. And speaking of that, I've actually been stupid. I've actually tried to pull that car into the garage whilst the handbrake is seized on. What I could have done is gone into the car and gone to the drums and wound the drums back, and that would have temporarily solved my problems. But no, it's still as it is now, with one wheel seized and the other one sort of seized. So yeah, looking at the parts, I've had a brief look to see how much the parts are going to cost me, and the sills themselves, which I'm hoping may cover the arches up. If not, I'll have to find some scrap metal. It's going to be about 40 quid. each side, and I haven't checked the other side yet, so there will be content on that where I'll have to put a spare wheel on, move the car across and try and have a look at the other side. But to do that, to fix the car, I'm going to need a vast array of tools, and that will take time to get. I obviously need a welder. I have a friend of mine who has a welder, but obviously he's got a little one, and it's going to take some time to organise a day where we can get some progress done to it. I'm going to need a grinder, which I can buy. I can buy a grinder, that's not a problem, because they don't cost too much, and I've got a couple of discs, and so is my mate. And then obviously getting the sills, and then getting it painted and getting everything sorted. Once that's done, then obviously it's going to need the rear axle taken off and everything done there. That's going to take some time. And then it's going to need either CV joints or just new drive shafts at the front. And then once that's done, it should be ready for its MOT. So when I think of it that way, it doesn't seem like it needs much. But in reality, to me, it does. But there's one crucial thing that I still think needs sorting, and that is the engine's turbo. Obviously, if I'm going to change the turbo, I'm likely to find a bigger turbo, because why not? The opportunity's there, why not do it? And I've got to remember, this car was 680 quid to me. Yes, it has no service history, and it looks good, and it is a classic, or it's becoming one. I'm sure there's less of these Phase 1 diesels as opposed to Cavalier diesels. I'm sure there's more of them still on the road saved than there is Vectra B diesels, so worth a go. And because when you get the car out, it does actually look pretty nice, and it would break my heart to just sort of strip that all away. So I think the car needs a bit of resto work, which I am wanting to do, depending on financials. So this car's going to take some time to do. Obviously it'll be content for you guys, but from this video forward, and maybe a couple of other videos to follow, video content is going to be quite slow. So I apologise to you guys that the videos are going to be slow coming out, because I've been in a bit of a roll of getting them sorted maybe a week or two in advance, and well, there's no point me making videos for the sake of it, which I hope you guys understand. So it's going to take me quite a while to get this car sorted. It's going to take me quite a while to get the financials to do this sort of work, considering some of us want to go on holiday at some point, and we have things we need to buy and fix, i.e. the Insignia needs service, and it also needs a few other bits, but that is a bit of a waiting game. The car's driving and running perfectly fine at the minute. It just needs a service at some point, so that's obviously going to need doing. I am in two minds of what I'm doing, but I'm leaning towards fixing it. So if you guys want to see the Vectra B back on its own 4 feet and back up on the road, and you want to see how that journey goes along, why not leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you guys want me to save this car. If you guys think it's not worth doing and I shouldn't spend a penny on it, which some of you guys have done in that video, then also say that in the comments. Be brutally honest with me. Does this car warrant saving, or does this car warrant going to car heaven? I've got to think as well that the rarer these cars get, that obviously fewer and fewer of them on the road, it will be worth something one day. And looking at the Cavaliers, that certainly is the case, but those Cavaliers obviously got full service history, and they've got plenty of receipts and work done to them and proof. Whereas this car has at the minute nil service history, apart from the things I can visibly see, like the Bilstein suspension, the rear arms, the underseal, and a few other bits from what I can tell. Obviously it's been serviced once in its life because it's 26 nearly years old. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this is going to be a short edited video. I think I'm going to save the car, but if you think I'm being silly and stupid, tell me that. But until next time guys, it might be a little bit of a while till that next time comes for a video, but if you do like this video and you want to see more on the Vectra B, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.